In this video, we have this Hosim 10th scale 4-wheel drive brushed monster truck. Right now, it is on Amazon for $99 with a $20 coupon makes it $79. It is a staggering low value for something that claims 10th scale 4-wheel drive monster truck. So we're going to get it out of the box. We're going to test it and we're going to see just how good is this. If you're new to the channel, welcome. My name is Troy. This is Roadside RC. You'll tend to find me bashing or crawling or drifting or racing, plus doing product review videos and how-tos. Let's start with this review of this Hosim by getting it out of the box. In the bag, of course, you get the truck itself, and we'll go into that more in a minute. You have a little handy-dandy carrying bag here that's kind of convenient for carrying around, you know, some of your tools, some of your chargers, some stuff like that. You have, it looks like an optional wheelie bar that we can attach on. We have some small tools, some spare body clips, some spare wheel nuts, things that you kind of commonly need. You have a 1-year warranty protection program and ability to contact the support team and get in there if you ever have any needs. Here's how you get in touch with them for parts and things like that. This is two 1500 milliamp LiPo batteries. Should be pretty good, decent runtime with them. I like the fact that they come with the standard T plug plus a balance port, which means that even though they give you the USB slow charger on this, one of the best things, one of the best first upgrades that you can get for this is a proper hobby charger. Somewhat basic controller, moderate sized, does fit the hand decent, has a couple different steering trims, on off button. You will need to provide 3 AA batteries to get it up and running. And then with the price point, you know that this is targeted towards new users. So what you like to see here is a very thick, nice instruction manual. Comes with a lot of different information about how to get the vehicle running, some basic serviceability to it, things that you need to watch out for, troubleshooting. And then back here at the back, they actually give you exploded diagrams, part numbers, so that you have some idea if anything ever goes wrong, you know what the part numbers are, like it gives you the actual part numbers and where they go, an idea of how you can service the vehicle. That is key for a vehicle like this. Well, let's go over some of the basics of the truck itself. First thing out is the size. Size and scale is always very subjective. So what we're looking here, about total length is about 14 inches, and we're looking at about 11 inches wide. So calling it 10th scale seems a little aggressive. It's a little smaller. I think if you called this something like a 12th scale, I would 100% believe it. Now, as we pull these body pins off so that we can look at the body itself a little bit closer, what we'll first find, there's actually 2 of them. Look at that. Isn't that awesome? I actually really enjoy that they do this sometimes. One, it allows the user to choose which one of the bodies that you want to use. And also, the bodies tend to take a lot of damage, and so one of these is going to die. And this way you have a backup and it is okay. These do have a covering on them from the factory that you probably want to peel off. You can choose to leave it on for the first couple runs if you want, but you don't have to. You can peel it off. Oh yeah. And now we get a first look at the truck itself. First thing that we notice, those are non-oil filled, those are friction shocks alone, which for this price point pretty much matches what we would expect. Higher end vehicles will actually have oil filled shocks that can control some of that bounce. We don't have that here, we are bouncy. A little 380 sized motor up and off of that rear gearbox. A ESC and receiver in one unit, so it's controlling the power to the motor and getting the signals from the controller and doing the steering servo connection. Big battery strap here that goes around the whole vehicle, plus one forward and rear. That's nice. That'll help hold that battery in very nice and tight. But one thing you'll notice here is this battery box is massive. Look at that. Like, you could almost get both of the batteries in at one time. The good news with this is if you do enjoy this and you do like driving this vehicle, it's going to be very easy to get a larger battery in here. A larger battery, depending on what you do. If you increase this milliamp hour, mAh, if you increase that number, it just means the truck will drive for longer. If you increase the voltage, it means it'll go faster. Okay, it is a four-wheel drive vehicle. I do see a metal drive shaft through the center. It says on the package that it is all metal gears. The drive shafts here on the ends, they do look like they are a composite. So that is a plastic drive shaft with a metal cross pin in it. So we'll keep an eye on that to see how durable that is. Sometimes these plastic drive shafts are a weak spot, and so we'll have to see how that works and if that is strong. I do see metal ties here for the turnbuckles. So overall, the truck looks pretty solid. We have a little clear plastic cover here on the metal front transmission plate. That should help keep this front piece nice and strong. Big burly bumper with some lights in it. So overall, truck looks pretty durable. So let's get a battery in it and let's go see how this thing drives. We got headlights. Steering's a little slow, but it works. It is probably not the fastest thing, but we'll give it a shot and see how it does. Real quick first impressions, truck drives fine, but it's pretty dang slow, honestly. Kind of surprised how slow it is on 2S. I've had plenty of Hosim's other vehicles, and they were much faster than that. I double-checked in the manual to make sure that there was no adjustability of a speed setting or anything along those lines. Good news, size is big enough that it drives in the grass without any kind of issue. Short grass, my son actually just mowed it earlier today, so it is freshly cut. It needs a little more power, so before we do anything else, I'm just going to go ahead and get this factory 2S out of it. I'm going to throw a 3S LiPo in it, and we're going to see how it does that way. This is a Gens Ace 1800 milliamp 3S, and yes, it will fit in here just beautifully in this battery tray. All right, moment of truth. It doesn't say anything in the manual about being able to run a 3-cell battery, so we may fry this thing here. Let's see what happens. Okay, so far. Whoa. Oh, that's going to be a lot more power. That is faster, but it's still not very good. And if you hear that sound, oh, that sound you hear, clicking sound, high-pitched, fast clicking sound, is a gear stripping somewhere. Boom. Yeah, something in there is getting nice and crunchy, and something smells very, very hot. I have very, very hot electronic smell. Oh, that is it is this motor. That motor does not like that 3-cell battery. Oh my gosh, that is hot. The ESC and everything over here, fine. Servo's fine. That motor, even just that little bit, the little bit that we ran it out there, is abso-freaking-lutely cooking. So I've tested a lot of Hosim's vehicles over the years, and I'll be honest, they're usually pretty dang good. So one of two things has happened here. One, either I got an absolute dud from the factory with something basically wrong from it from the start, or they missed on this one. They swung for 10th scale, didn't quite hit the size, didn't hit the power. It definitely needs more power. But, you know, again, the price point was so low that it's a little hard to complain, but this is a waste of your money. It's done after a run. It's too slow to be fun in the first place. Clearly something inside of it is not strong enough to have any kind of crashes or any kind of power put to it, because it is making all of the bad sounds, and now the motor is also not liking life. So unfortunately, that means this isn't in the junk pile. And if you know what we do on the channel with trucks that do not pass the test, they get hit with a battle bot. So be on the lookout for a future video with that in it. If you are curious, if you're in the market for something like this, and you're curious about something that may be a better spend of your money, two things. I'm going to do a little bit of research of what's currently available and leave some links in the video description for you. And I have a vehicle reviews playlist that's going to be popping up over here to your right. I'd suggest going over there and checking out some of those. You might find something in there that's a better fit for you. So thank you for watching, and goodbye.